Hey everybody, welcome to Bones and Brews. So today we're going to make a special smoked buffalo chicken meatball on the Weber Smoky Mountain. It is the first week of March, so later this week, I believe on Thursday, March the 9th, it is officially National Meatball Day, so we thought we'd kick it off with a little special recipe for you today. So I've got my Weber Smoky Mountain going here at about 300 degrees, a little hotter than I would usually have it going. Some hickory and some applewood mix on there as well. So before I get started making our chicken meatballs here, I'm going to take my small cast iron that I'm going to use for those meatballs. I'm going to throw them on that Weber Smoky Mountain just for a few minutes while we're making those meatballs. Let it warm up in there. That's going to give it a little crispier bottom on those meatballs as well. All right, team, so let's get these meatballs started. So we're going to start with, I've got a pound of ground chicken here that we're going to start with. And then after that, we're going to add in a bunch of other ingredients here. I'll save that other glove for when I'm ready for it there. So we're going to start with that pound of that ground chicken. Go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to use my mixer just to make things a little bit easier for us here today. And after that, we're going to throw in, I got just a little bit of chopped red onion that I diced up nice and small there. I've got some Panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to take one egg, crack that in there as well. And I've got myself a little bit of olive oil, some granulated garlic powder there, also some ground onion powder, and a little bit of salt. And then now for this part of the recipe, you could go with a little blue cheese dressing if you wanted. I'm actually going to use some Whataburger jalapeno ranch dressing. So I'm going to put just a little bit of that in there as well. And last but not least, I'm going to add, now lots of companies make like their own buffalo style hot dust or seasoning. This is from Hot Charlie's here in St. Louis. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that in there as well. Don't worry, we're going to have a lot more hot wing sauce on it later on that we put in there. All right, so we get that going here. We're going to mix it up, and then we're going to start making those meatballs. All right, so all those ingredients have mixed together with that ground chicken. So we're going to take this. Our next step is we're going to start making those meatballs. Once I have my meatballs ready to go, we'll pull that cast iron back off, start placing them in there, and add our other ingredients. So let's get going. All right, I was able to make 5 meatballs and get them in that cast iron skillet. So now what we're going to do is we are going to start adding those ingredients. We're going to start with this buffalo wing sauce here. You can use whatever your favorite buffalo sauce. This is just this local store-bought sauce here that I picked up. I'm going to pour that around the outer edge of those meatballs, as well as just drizzle a little bit across the top, using pretty much that entire bottle, just saving just a little bit for the back end here. Then I'm going to grab those blue cheese crumbles. We're going to sprinkle those across that meatball platter as well. Really trying to hit the outer edges of those meatballs at the same time, just like I did that buffalo sauce. I love it when that blue cheese melts inside the buffalo sauce. Just really gives it a great taste. Then next, I was able to pick up some fresh mozzarella. So with this mozzarella, it was already pre-sliced, which is perfect because it's about the same size as the top of each of those meatballs. So I'm going to grab my slices here, and I will lay one across the top of each of those meatballs. Perfect. And then what we're going to do next is, after I get my hands cleaned off from grabbing that mozzarella and that blue cheese, is we're going to grab just a little bit more of that jalapeno ranch dressing and drizzle that across the top as well. And so we're ready to go. We're going to throw it on the Weber Smoky Mountain for about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, we can see we've got those meatballs placed on that smoker. I did drizzle just a little bit more of that buffalo sauce on our top. We'll close up that lid and let it go here for about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, I got about 15 or 20 more minutes left on these meatballs. So I decided I'm going to slice up some fresh jalapeno and put them on there as well and let those cook just a little bit on top of those meatballs. Really just crank up the heat a little bit. You're free to do this if you like at home. All right, we have pulled those meatballs off that smoker. They are piping hot. And so we're now going to top them off with a few more ingredients to make them ready to serve. So first of all, I'm going to take a little bit more of that crumbled blue cheese and throw it on there. And I've got chopped up some green onions as well. We'll put some of those on there. And then I've got just a dash of salt we're going to throw across there as well. You're also welcome to come back and throw some more of that jalapeno ranch across the top if you like. I think I have enough in there already. We could use a little blue cheese dressing. Really, you can kind of mix and match. If you like more blue cheese, more ranch, whatever you want to do here. Let's get ready to give them a taste test. All right, my friends, it's time for the taste test here. I'll get in here and get myself a little piece of that meatball. That sauce is still piping hot. I can see a little bit of boil actually in the bottom of there as well. A lot of sauce, a lot of crumbled blue cheese, a little bit of that mozzarella. Oh yeah, folks. That is absolutely delicious. Just that coat, that's just like sitting a boat of blue cheese and that buffalo sauce on the bottom. I think that sauce just helps it boiled from the bottom, cooking those meatballs so they're not stuck to that cast iron at all. Mozzarella just has a great coating across the top. You can definitely go a little hotter, but when you're done with that smoker, take it in the house, throw it under the broiler for like 2 or 3 minutes, and really get a nice crust on there as well if you like. You really can just kind of play with the recipe. This is absolutely delicious, great for a meal, for an appetizer, game day, whatever you want to do. But we're doing it because this Thursday, the 9th of March, National Meatball Day. So there's our meatball recipe for you guys. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. We'll have the full recipe in the description of this episode as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.